Hey folks, I kind of wanted to do an updated video here to introduce you to GotFriends F4F Paintkit. It was just released out today, and it's not unlike any of the other paint kits, but it does have a couple of little peculiarities that are different. So I thought I'd kind of cover that. Once you download it and extract it, you're going to be presented with 3 folders and then a README. It's really important that you read this README file. And of note, one of the reasons is there's some issues here with the drop tanks and how they function. So it's kind of important that you read that and understand that before you mess with those particular texture files. Anyway, you're presented with the 3 folders. Of course, the first one is the Blender model for opening up and getting your paint kit going. Then you have a community template. This is the template that you will add your stuff to, and it's got information in that README file about how to set this up. It gives you some textures already. If you want to, you can replace all the textures that are available for the other variants that's provided in this kit, and just put a name in there and throw it into Flight Simulator, and it's going to work fine. Let's go up here to the images. In the images folder, you have 3 separate folders here. The important one that you're going to want to know for Blender, if you're unfamiliar, most of the people that use these kits are familiar with how they work, but if you open up this PNG folder, you're presented with 4 different folders here, and each one of these is a different model. You've got, texture setup. You've got a black metal, you've got a white aluminum, a white gloss, and a white matte. The difference between these 3 are basically in the comp files and a little bit on the aluminum change in the texturing, the color of the gray to give that aluminum effect. If you're into modifying and you want to go in and modify that file to get yourself a little bit more polished aluminum, all you have to do actually is change up this gray. I'll try to open one of these things. Open with Photoshop. This gray is probably more true to life than as what you might see coming out of a factory in that area with of a prototype, getting ready to go test film before they start doing any painting and stuff on it. What I did for mine is I basically set up a new, I added a new layer. You can name it if you want to. And I took this layer and I went ahead and filled this layer. Let's see. I'm going to edit. I'm going to fill. And I'll use the foreground. And I filled it with the yellow. And then what I did was I took this layer and went up here to where it says normal, which is the type of layer functioning. And I went down here to multiply, and I just clicked on multiply, and that was a color change. And that's a quick way to do a color change if you want to. And on this particular airplane, what it allows you to do, if you do a multiply, you pick up all the dirt and grime and everything else that was put into this original file down here, and then you can just meld these 2 together and use it in game. But now, if you want to do a color change, if you want to lighten this gray up here, what I did was I just took, let me get rid of this, delete the layer, I don't want that. I select all, and I go into the image adjustment, and I go down here to where it says hue and saturation, and in the hue and saturation down here, the only thing I touch is this lightness slider, and I took mine up to about 22, right about in there, and it gave me a nice 21. It's kind of hard to get sometimes, but I just selected OK. It also lightened my green up a little bit. I was just experimenting, so I didn't care with that. If you really want to get technical about it, and you want to go into the UVs and select, use the UVs to select out all this gray area and not touch the green, which is your anodized metal, your primered aluminum, and you can do it that way, but that's how I did that as far as lightening up. Anyways, I'm going to close out of this because I don't want to do that. No, save. So this is the inside, this is the PNGs of that particular model. And see, you have all four of them up here, the black, and then of course each one of the two different whites in here. So, and again, if you'll notice, looking down here at one of the comp files, how red it is, and then if I go up here to the aluminum, you'll see how pink it is, and that's how you get your aluminum, and the biggest difference between the white and the aluminum, besides the color. Okay, enough of that. The important thing is, you know where this PNG files, these are all the PNGs, and these are what Blender uses to put the textures on the model. You're also given the DDS files for these, and these DDS files, you can copy this and put them right into a folder and put them right into Photoshop, and they will function because everything's here to make those function. Alright? And this is, I say of anything, this is one of the things that you'll rarely see in some of the other paint kits to date, is the fact that everything for these four are provided for you. And what's nice about the white is, and I showed you earlier, is if you, I'll pull up the fuselage here in Photoshop and show you. And what's really nice about this is, see all the detail that's in here as far as the grime and shadowing and stuff. Like I said, you can select all. You can add a layer, new layer, and I can I can go to edit, do a fill, select the color, foreground, go OK, and then I can change that layer properties to multiply, and now you see I picked up all that dirt, grime, everything that's underneath of there, and I've got a complete color change. You could do the same thing with a PNG, or not PNG, the UVs. If I go back in here to, I'm going to go straight up to the UVs. You can grab a UV file for the fuselage. Open that up. Let's see, I can open that with Photoshop. Make sure that my, if I go to my selection tool, you want to make sure your tolerance is high enough to where you're going to pick up everything that you click on. And you could grab your selection tool, and I could grab the fuselage, that complete fuselage and all the sides. Or another way of doing that, if I click off here, I could select all the neutral area. The problem with that is you got to go inside each one of these parts and make sure you get all those little white areas. But anyways, that's another way that I could take, and then I could copy this. Control C for copy. Go back here, go Control V to paste, and I can do a, let's see, selection. Let's see, am I on the right here? Get something. I guess I didn't get a good paste. No, it doesn't look like I got a good paste. Yeah, I might have got a good paste. Anyways, that just gives you an idea how you can select the individual parts and do a color change that way. I'm going real fast through this. The people that really know how to do this, know what to do, and it takes a little bit. I've got plenty of videos out there on how to do things that are right down to the detail and get you right going with stuff that you want to do. Just do a search on YouTube for Airpack 1 and you'll find all my videos. I'm going to completely get out of all this because I don't need any of it. The other folders I mentioned here is the UVs. You can use these for selection tools. So, if I go back up here to Blender and I open up the Blender, on this you're confronted with this model right here. Now, you can at this point, if you want to select items and hide them or delete them or whatever you want to do, if you think they're going to be in your way, you're not going to bother painting them and stuff like that, you can do that. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go up here to File, and I'm going to go to External Data, and I want to go down here to Find Missing Files. I will go up here to the Images folder and go to PNGs, and if I want to work on a white base, I'll select the white right here, open that up, then I'm going to find missing files, and so at this point, if I select, let's see, if I select the wing and I go in here to texture paint, there's my white aircraft. It looks dark gray. It's really dark, and that's, if you're not used to Blender, that's what it's going to look like. On the template over here on the side, it's a little bit whiter. Now, I never select any colors from inside the 3D model window. I always select them from the template itself. If you go up here to the top of the menu area, you see these two highlighted things here. One looks like it's got an arrow going through an arc, and the other one's got two circles. One's filled, one's not. If you click that down arrow and click off the display textures, now you just have your textures. You don't have the UV map indicator over the top of it. So, and again, if you wanted to select the color, do your selecting over here. Don't do it in the 3D window because you'll get a really dark. I'll show you what I mean here. If I go here to selection tool and I select this, instead of getting white, I get this really dark gray. So if I go over here on this area, again, click on the window, that tool, and grab it, I'm getting a little bit whiter, and I can go off to the side. It's kind of hard to see because I'm filming. There's a slider here, and you can take that all the way down up to bright white, and that gives you kind of a pure white. Anyways, if I go back out to layout now, there's no color in the model. It's just a straight model. But when you go into looking at your textures, that's when this is going to show up. I'm going to exit out of here. Let's see. Let's do a Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Should take me back to where I have nothing selected. There we go. Alright. If I click on the fuselage now, I have nothing selected. I've basically taken it back to the point where I actually opened the model. If I click on the fuselage and go to template, this shows up pink. The reason it shows up pink is because there's no textures selected whatsoever. They're just not there. And if I click on, let's see, the fuselage is selected. You see I have nothing here. At this point, what I would have to do is I'd have to come over here and I'd have to click in this texture slots. I'd have to click on the plus sign, add a base color. Most of his is at 4096 by 4096. And I like to take my white and take it all the way full white and then go OK. And so now you'll see I'll have a full white texture plate here, and now my fuselage is turned white. But I have none of the grunge and grime that the actual model had. And if you wanted a brand new airplane, then that's the way to go. At this point, you can select the color and just paint for your heart's content. And it shows up over here on the template. If I go to green, same deal, paint on it, do whatever you want to. That's when you start. That's how you start getting your own liveries and messing with it. So Control Z, Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. I'll just go back out. So once again, when you first open in Blender with this model, you're not going to have, if you go to texture paint, you won't have anything over here. If you want to look at and modify existing models, go into File, go down here to where it says External Data, go to Find Missing Files. I'm going to go back up here since I'm already in the PNGs inside the Images folder. So Images folder, if you go here to Blender, if I go, I'm sorry, Community Template, and look in there, it's not gonna work. If I go in here, because that's the template. If I go Images and go to DDS and try to get something in, and if I click on Find Missing Files, see all that warnings that came up? I still don't have anything. If I go to Texture Paint, it's pink. So I'm gonna go back here to Layout, Control Z, 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 take it all the way back out. File. This time let's go to External Data. Come on. External Data. Find Missing Files. I'm on the. I'm going to go up, back out, go to my PNGs. Let's select the black model this time. Find Missing Files. Let's select the wings, and I'll go into Texture Paint. Now there's my black texture model, and now you can go from there on messing with this if you want to. That's how that works. Hopefully this has helped someone in this setup in using Blender. It takes a little bit to get used to, but again, I have a whole series of videos on using Blender at Airpack 1 on YouTube. Easy Rider has some great videos if you want to use paint.net. He can get you going on basics there. There's other videos out on the internet that will get you going as far as painting in Blender. Those of you who already do painting in Blender, you know what this is all about. Go have a ball. This is a great aircraft, and it's got some great models. So hopefully this helps someone make a little easier transition into using the Blender model. I'm just going to X out of here. I don't need to mess with this anymore. So that is the WildCat Paintkit for GotFriends F4F WildCat. If you have any questions, you can usually get a hold of me on GotFriends Discord in the livery section down there. I monitor that quite a bit. Or you can leave something in the comments on the various videos. Anyways, hope this helps. Have a good one. Enjoy.